Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today we are going to be talking about the meta. So for those of you who are not interested in that and just like playing your games and you're not really bothered about competitive play, do feel free to just ignore this one, or please stick around and we'll just talk through about if the changes to that were supposed to nerf Tauntauns and Shore Troopers, whether or not they made a difference. Spoiler alert, it sort of looks like they didn't. So I haven't really played enough with Tauntauns or against Tauntauns, and the same for Shore Troopers in the past couple of months. So I personally have no prior strong feeling to whether or not they were overpowered or not. However, at the weekend that has just gone, there was the European Championship run by Ellis from War Game Command, if you want to go check him out. I personally didn't attend because my wife technically about 35 weeks pregnant or something, so I'm like, I'll pick a battle that I can probably win, and by win I mean get to it rather than win the event. So anyway, I personally didn't attend. However, we have seen the top 8 lists, so Ellie's posted these on the Facebook group and we can see the top 8 lists. Spoiler alert, 7 of 8 of these contain either Shore Troopers or either triple or double Tauntauns, right? Then this is done after the rule effect. So we'll have a look at the list and then we'll talk about, are they actually busted? Like, yeah, alright. If though at the end of this video you like the video, press like, and if you're not already subscribed and you're interested in Star Wars Legion, please do subscribe, like it really does help. I've also done a thing called channel membership. No pressure, but I think it's cool. Especially when I do live streams, and I'm trying to do live streams now like every Saturday night. Anyway, so let's just pop it out. So this is he posted it on the tabletop.to, and we have the 8 lists. Now, interestingly, the winning list was a triple Tauntaun list, but the second list was a double Shore Trooper list. So there's no no leading like, oh, it's all Tauntauns that won or what have you. I don't really think that's the case. Now, I'm not going to be able to go through every list because, quite frankly, some of them are rotated and I can't bother readjusting them. So the top the victor was Johannes, I hope that's how you say his name, and second was Kay. And the winning list was a Leia and R2D2 Chewbacca list with, of course, triple Tauntauns. Yeah, right. We're not going to talk too much. Ooh, got a burp, do apologise. What is that? Triple Sniper, triple Tauntauns, 3 naked troopers, and then, your characters. Everything's doing something there, I think, is the plan. And the second list is now you'll see this a lot, so I'm actually calling this, while we're calling it Shore Troopers, but it's actually a lot of triple speeder bags. And you might notice on my desk, I don't know how well you can see it, but I am prepping my triple speeder bags. I'm just doing that for fun. I don't even have Shore Troopers. I've always wanted to get my triple speeder bags ready, so that's what I'm working on. Anyway, it's Vias and 3 Shore Troopers and 3 speeder bags with 1 sniper. That came second, right? Now this is a side list. I mean, I'm not blaming Ellis, but come on, Ellis. So this list is triple Tauntauns again, with 3 snipers and again naked troopers, it seems, but this time with Luke instead of like Leia and what have you. Fine. Now this was the other semi-finalist is a triple Tauntaun list. So I guess technically you could make an argument saying that 3 of the top 4 were triple Tauntauns and only 1 Shore Trooper. I mean, once it gets to that level, it probably mainly comes down to the skill of the players. And triple Tauntauns, not naked troopers. We actually see some healing ones and etc. here, and with 2 snipers instead, and Luke and R2D2, right? Same kind of stuff. And then joint 5th to 8th, this one's double Tauntauns. Oh, really mixing things up, guys. And by the way, I don't blame the players when I'm being like a little bit sarcastic to be like, we're really mixing things up. Yeah, it's just what it is. I personally would, if I was going to this event, I would have ran something decent. Like, I wouldn't have ran something jank. So, this one makes sense. Luke and Sabine, I actually played a list against this that smashed me at Element Games. Very similar to this. It was really, basically, if I come together, Sabine bombed me, and if I spread out, the Tauntauns just overran me. Really interesting list. And then coming to the other Shore Troopers list, we've got a triple Shore Trooper list, and and with the mortars, but also with the speeder bikes. It's nice to see the speeder bikes back. I'm sure Nicky in the UK is frothing at the mouth, being like, why didn't I do this? Maybe he did. I actually don't know what his list was. And yep, the last one, wait, it's not the last one, it's the second last. This was the only non-Tauntaun Rebel list. And it's, if I'm honest, it's 2 ATRTs, some Pathfinders. I don't want to say this is jank, but whoever ran this list is obviously a great player to make it with that list, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. And then finally we have a Vias and Bosk with triple shore troopers, and then triple snipers, and then interestingly a tank. All right, unusual, but all right. So let's just talk right. There's Worlds next month. We're not expecting points changes. This was played after the rules changes. Now, there's a reason why the rules changes might affect the meta, but it might not have affected the meta quickly enough for it to impact Europeans. Because if you've been playing with your list for months and months and months, and then the rules get changed like a week or 2 weeks before your tournament, you might think, yeah, I'm just gonna go with what I've been practicing. I know how it fares. Yeah, I have to change it a little bit because of the rules or what have you, but better the devil you know. And whenever I speak to Ellis, his advice is always like, run what you know. And I'm like, Ellis, I play everything. I don't run the one list because I find it boring. So, so yes, I think there's possibly an element of that, of players just being, I don't want to say stubborn about it, because it makes sense. You play what you've practiced in a sense. So it could be that these lists might not be top tier, but they are what people practice. And we'll get a clearer picture of that when the Worlds comes around. Now, Worlds is at Adepticon in about 2-3 weeks. So we'll have a secondary picture. But for me, it's a little bit telling that 7 out of the 8 lists have either double triple shores or double triple tauntauns, right? The evidence is there. So whilst we might say, hey, it's not completely broken, like people in the comments, and I don't have any I'm not disagreeing with you, but people often say, hey, they're not as bad as they seem, right? And to that you've got to say, well, the evidence now is suggesting that they are quite potent at least. But what I think actually happens in a sense like that is, because something is better, if it's not way, way better and broken, I'm thinking triple jump masters in X-Wing or some classic example of that. If it's not super, super broken, then the effect playing against it isn't so bad. But that doesn't mean we should accept things that are that are slightly better than the rest of the stuff. And if I'm honest, I've tried to place an order in for some shore troopers, and I'm looking forward to getting shore troopers to field something other than stormtroopers. So I'm not necessarily sure I even want that meta to go away. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, it could be that the lists were already practiced and the impact will be gradually felt, and maybe we'll see it more at Worlds. But the evidence is sort of suggesting that there's a bit of a problem. Ooh. I do apologise. I have a very mild cough. Pretty sure it's nothing serious before anybody says anything. And yeah, the actual lists themselves, what do you want to talk about, isn't it? It's basically triple tauntauns with flavour or double shore troopers and speeder bikes, which I would love to. I want to see on the table, the speeder bikes. So I'm planning on doing filming a bat rep this weekend, and I'm trying to get my speeder bikes ready for it. And yeah, that's what it is. And just evidence based, there's strong evidence to say that these are the better lists, and those units seem to factor in everything. However, you could even argue that the snipers are factoring everything because they're in most of the lists as well. But we're not exactly saying snipers need a further nerf. I don't think we're hearing that in the community necessarily. So yeah, I don't really have any further to go. The one thing I want to say, and I might eventually make a video about this, is we talk about vehicles, right? And I just want to get clear that I think if vehicles were really, really strong in the meta, that it would actually be a little bit overpowering to a lot of players. I think you need to have a thing where you could come across vehicles reasonably regularly, but you don't necessarily want them to be in every list, because I personally find it a little bit less fun. Although I appreciate some people might find it more fun, but for me, I like to have the troops. So I just want to get that out there because I wanted to say it in a video. But yeah, that's it. There's nothing else to really say. They just look like they're strong. Should they be changed further? That will be the question. And I think we'll get an answer to that probably at Worlds. If they're smashing everybody at Worlds with these kind of lists, which if you're one of the better players, you're going to want to take one of the better lists. So I think you might see it anyway. There'll be people like Luke Cook, who's like a fantastic player, who'll pop out Palpatine and Saboteurs or something. But, you know, most players will probably take something reasonably strong. And, yeah, I think what will probably happen is that we'll see a point change in, I think what they said, it might be like 6 months' time, because apparently it's going to be once every year. I personally would like points changes to be one big one every year, and then every 6 months little subtle changes when it needs to be. They've tried to fix this with rule changes. The evidence currently suggests they've not done enough, but we'll see. Like, subscribe, have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.